I thought we played a really, really good first half. And then in the third quarter, I was encouraged. I think the same thing happened when we played in Memphis. We were up by 20 at the half, and then they really, really dug into our lead. I thought we came out and did some really good things early in the third quarter on both ends, but then our defense really was lacking, and I think wherever we're up 26 or 27 points, went all the way down to 9. So we didn't do a great job, but these guys took care of business and found a way to win the game and closed the game out, and overall did a good job.
Billy, what do you know about Corey, the play, what his status is, and how much can you tell us right now?
Sprained knee as of right now. Probably will get some pictures taken tomorrow and find out if it's anything more than that. But that's all they're diagnosed right now. Looks like his knee is sprained, but they'll do more.
Had a history with that?
Yeah, I don't know any of that.
I wanted to ask you about Paul and his rhythm tonight. How did you feel about the rhythm he had stepping into those three-pointers? I think he made his first 7. And how do you feel about seeing him do that, having him perform the way he did offensively going into the first round?
Yeah, he was in a really, really good flow tonight. He got it going, and I even thought he got some great looks in the second half that he, were really close to going down, but just didn't go down for him. But you could just tell the way he was moving and shooting that he had it going tonight.
We have asked you so many questions about triple-doubles over the last 2 years, but now that Russell has officially averaged a triple-double for a second consecutive season, he's the only guy ever to do that. I mean, can you try to put in perspective in your own words just how impressive that accomplishment is?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Last year, everybody tracked it, and this year, really, nobody did. I think it speaks to his greatness as a player. The fact that he can impact the game in a lot of different ways. Again, it's incredible. To be able to do that, for 2 consecutive seasons, and maybe because of the Oscar Robertson, and it was so long before somebody was able to, do that. It was really amazing to me. Is even if he didn't get the 16 rebounds, the fact that he was that close again in the second year was amazing. But he did get it, so I mean, really remarkable. Just the way he impacts the game.
You mentioned him not impacting the game beyond scoring. Tonight, it seemed like he was just off on the break and finding guys in transition or secondary break over and over again. What allowed him to be so successful in those moments?
I think Paul really had it going, and I think that's the one thing about Russell is he really surveys and looks at the floor, looks at the game, and sees what's going on, and Paul really had it going. He was getting guys a lot of good looks. I think part of the reason we made 23s tonight, we probably could have made a lot more, was because we had guys shooting the ball well. And when guys are shooting the ball well, he starts finding guys. And he probably bypassed a few layups that he could have probably taken and probably could have gotten to the rim. But he found people on the break, found people, when he got into the teeth of the defense, into the lane. But I think when our team's shooting the ball like that and we're flowing like that, offensively, I think, he speaks to it. I think he tries to read the game to the best of his ability.
Yeah, Billy, your troubles tonight actually started after Russell got the triple-double secured. Was that a sign of a let-up, or was everybody zoned in part because of the triple-double thing? And why do you think that occurred?
Yeah, I mean, I don't I don't necessarily view it that way. We did not play well enough. I think we got up 27 points or 26 points, and the 3-point line killed us. I mean, they made 5 3-point shots in the third quarter. I don't know what they made for the second half, but we talked in the locker room at halftime that the way they could get back in the game was at the free throw line, offensive rebounding, and the 3-point line. And we did not do a great job defending the 3. Brooks really hurt us. They all hurt us there, and we got to close out better to the 3-point line than we did. I don't want to sit there and say because Russell got a triple-double that the team just all of a sudden let up. I don't think that was the case. I just don't think we did a good enough job of getting out the shooters.
Coach, can you talk about the position with Corey if he were to miss some? Is Alex any closer? And then I guess you would just go naturally with Ferg?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's hard for me to answer any of those things. Alex is in concussion protocol.
Nothing new.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting better, but I mean, how far away he is to actually being cleared to play, I don't know. Corey's situation, I don't know probably till tomorrow till he gets some pictures taken. So it would probably be something that we'll have to address once we get the accurate information of what's going on with both players. Probably, sometime tomorrow afternoon.
What did you think of the minutes that Terrence gave you?
Played good tonight. Did a lot of really good things. Shot the ball well. He was another guy. I mean, we made 23s tonight, and I think we could have made a lot more. I thought we generated a lot of good looks for each other. I thought our ball movement was really good. 17 assists at the half. I don't know what we ended up for the game, but did a pretty good job moving the ball, shot a high percentage. But I thought Terrence did a nice job.
And then the thing pregame with Nick, did you know that was going to happen, and just kind of what did you think of that moment?
I did not know it was going to happen. You know, I really respected what Russell did for Nick in that moment, and I also really, really respect Nick as a player, as a person, as a man. I think, you know, to be able to start his career here and invest the length of his career here, what he's meant to the team. You know, I think in the locker room behind closed doors, the young guys are. I mean, he is an incredible guy, and I'm happy he got honored in a way. I felt bad that he got called to the free throw line, and that happened. But you know what? He's such a team guy. He's always ready to play, always pays attention, and he's a great, I think, leader and mentor for a lot of young players, even for our veteran guys. So I was happy to see the people really show their appreciation for what he's done for a long, long time here. And not only him as a player, but him as a person. And I thought it was a really, really nice moment, and I was really happy for Nick.
Billy, obviously it's very early, but now it's a lock that you guys will play the Jazz. You don't know your seed quite yet. Do you have any early thoughts on that matchup as you kind of look forward to that?
Yeah, I really don't. I mean, obviously, we finished playing them up very, very early in the year. You know, I know they're playing great basketball, but I mean, I haven't had a chance to watch them. We finished up our, you know, 4-game series of them so early in the season, and then you're getting caught in us trying to get better, improve, and you know, certainly I've said this for weeks. You know, we were trying to get into the playoffs. So I mean, I haven't really taken any time to even look at any of that stuff, but you know, we'll start to get to work and get prepared, and hopefully have a couple days to get ready.
Billy, the way Russell's rebounded the last 4 games, I think he's got 60 the last 4 games. Is the question not how did he get so many rebounds this season, but why he got so few? Looks like you do this every night if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just don't think he's looking at it like that. I think he's looking at it as, you know, what can he do to impact the game. Yeah, you know, I think because of the last few games, he's gotten so many rebounds. Yeah, I don't know what his career high rebound was. What do you have, 20 tonight? Yeah. So I mean, that's really, really hard to do. So I think the fact that you can expect him to get 20 every night would probably be a little bit much.
Billy, these next few days, whether you play Utah Saturday, Sunday, whatever, these next few days, is anything with preparation on your side different than if you just had a regular game coming up with them as opposed to a series? Do you prep differently at all?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you'd necessarily prep differently, but you've got to take 4 games of data that you've had and played against them. You're going to take last games that they've played. They're going to do the same thing. And then, you know, coming out of the first game, you'll make your adjustments or things that, you know, you maybe need to do better or do differently. And you know, we'll present it, you know, like we normally would to the guys. I don't think we want to change up routine and be something totally different. They have a familiarity with Utah, although it's been a while since we played them last. But it's the one thing that's, I think, different in the playoffs is you're going to see this team for sure 4 straight games, you know, and then how the series plays out, we'll go from there. But you know, your focus is on one team where it's so much different in the regular season, where you go, you know, from Houston to Miami, you know, to Memphis. You're just locked in on one team now, so our guys know that they've got to obviously prepare for one team, and the difference is those couple days leading up to the first game, and then the familiarity going forward for the next, you know, games.
Billy, you play starters deep into the fourth quarter, even when you have big leads. You know, there were a lot of other starters out on the floor with Corey when he came down and had that injury. But is there any disappointment or regret in regard to you when a guy gets injured in a game?
What's a big lead in the fourth quarter?
Well, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean,
we're up 20. We're up 27, and
Right.
they cut our lead to 9.
Yeah.
So I don't consider that a big lead. We're playing to win the game, and the game is in the balance at that point in time. We were up, I think, maybe 10, or we were up 12 points with whenever Corey got hurt. I mean, I just don't know Certainly, if we could have closed out the third quarter a lot better and built on our lead, that would have been a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I think, being in a 9-point game, or excuse me, a 12-point game, shooting 3 free throws, and then Nick got put into a tough situation. He misses them, so the game was really a back and forth game. We didn't really pull away to like the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was what my long-winded part. I was trying to get to that. Like the way you finished the third quarter. Does looking at the third quarter, the way you finished that give you some regret that you still had to have those guys in at that
we
juncture?
needed to finish better. There's no question about that. That we needed to do that. We had really good momentum. They called timeout, and again, I keep throwing out 26 to 27. I'm not quite sure what the number was, but we've got to be able to close out. That's my point. Is I think we came out of that third quarter and in the locker room, we did a really good job. And we've had times this year we have not done a good job, but we did a good job. To Barry's point, I don't know the stop Russell. Gets the triple-double, and I know at that point we didn't play particularly well, but we got to play better to take a 27-point lead into the fourth. And I'm not saying you want to be up 40, but there's no reason why we can't be up. I think if you look at that point in time in the game, and I'll look at this tonight, what were we outscored to close out the third quarter up 27 points? Because I think it was a single-digit lead. I mean, we got outscored by like 15 points. Like, we're better than that. We could do a better job than that.
Thunder has experienced a lot of up and downs this regular season, and what do you think is the biggest change of the players over this time?
Again, I think anytime you have a new group of players coming together, there's going to be some ups and downs. I think these guys have done a terrific job this year of staying together, their chemistry, their bond, the way they've worked with one another. I think the way they continue to grow as a team. So I'm really happy with the way we've progressed and have gotten better. I mean, if you go month by month, we were a team that, December 1st was the 24th best offensive team in the league, and these guys have gotten better playing with one another. We've lost our best, maybe one of the best defenders in the league, and we've had to do some different things defensively. But these guys have done a great job staying the course, working hard, staying together, and trying to figure out ways to improve and get better. So, I think parts of the ups and downs make you a better team.